You get this only nowhere else but you, Kevin and Zach. Kevin, I'm not going to lie.
Now we're not going to a carved penguin. There it is.
Oh, no. Are the O's fine? Are the Orioles fine, Kevin?
That's so bad. I was so embarrassed.
Okay. The Orioles stole it. That game was stolen. It was stolen from them, then they stole it right back. What? Oh, my God.
Wait, what's going on? What is happening?
What is going on? Was it a diving play? He bobbled the ball.
What is happening? Are they challenging it? No. Other wall. No.
Kevin, I don't know what you saw, how much you saw. I've been chugging champagne. Sure, I spilled a lot, but what a game, man.
He will be the legendary
Birdfish.
How about that?
Birdfish fans, stand up. We did it.
What can I say? What can I say? What can I say?
Eight straight. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Kevin and Zach React. I'm your host, Zach Bollinger. Orioles lose their 8th straight game as they drop yet another to the Milwaukee Brewers in a game. It felt like maybe they had an opportunity, and then the 8th inning, another dagger. Felix Bautista gets brought in the 8th, and immediately they it just didn't go as expected. It went as we expected, but not why they brought him in the 8th. Gives up 2 more runs, and really just not what the Orioles want at all. But joining me, as always, is my co-host, Kevin Ostriker. 8 straight, Kevin!
Yay.
I don't know what else to say.
I was thinking about this before I got on. What else can we talk about? There's nothing. Look, they showed more fight today. That was cool. Obviously, it didn't. They lost. It's the same stuff over and over again. It's been the same stuff for the past almost year. Literally, and it's not us being oh, we're so negative. I'm being completely serious. What is there to talk about?
Literally,
Jackson did another cool thing. Oh, are you trying out the comments?
Not doing that. I wanted to see what it was. Not doing the chat on the screen. That's not
to say, man. You want to look bold tonight.
I saw that on the show earlier today, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I kind of want to see what would happen. I love everyone in the chat. I don't trust you guys enough to put the chat live on screen.
I didn't even. This must have popped up today. This wasn't available
literally
last night, was it?
Someone chat.
Yeah. No, now that you're telling people to chat something, they're going to chat something bad.
It doesn't even show up. Do I have to?
No. It has to be someone will type. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there it is.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right. Can I move this around? No, I just got to keep it there. All right.
You got to keep it there.
All right. That's enough of my trust for you people.
Good behavior. Good 30 seconds of behavior from the chat. We love to see that.
Yeah, every time we get good behavior, we're adding 20 seconds on to the chat being on screen. We'll do that. We reward good behavior. Okay, everyone behaves in the chat. We get chat screen time.
Good behavior tiers is how that works.
Oh, Kevin, I honestly don't know what to talk about. I guess we'll talk about this. Walter, appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Walter.
Really do. I'll stand up for this one. No, I'll stand. Appreciate you, Walter. Appreciate it. Appreciate all of you. And did the Orioles do something to piss Bobby Bonilla off? This losing All-Star on Bobby Bonilla Day last year. We were 55-31 heading into the day and are 49-73 sacrifice a chicken to end the curse of Bonilla. It is. I mean, people forget that the Orioles are also still paying Bobby Bonilla. I think how much do we pay him per year? Let me check. Yeah, we pay him $500,000. So it's not as much. Obviously, the Mets pay him over $1 million per year.
Yeah,
but Orioles,
what's Chris Davis Day? Do you know when that is? July 1st is also. Oh, right. All the deferrals are July 1st.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Duh.
Kevin, is there anyone on earth right now that's more like, the Kermit drinking his tea, like that ain't none of my business right now, than Brandon Hyde?
No, Mike Malone, actually.
All right.
Did you see what he said?
No, what did he say?
He said that OKC won a Game 7 in front of the best fans in the NBA. I am distraught.
At least Hyde hasn't done that yet.
They have him on the Western Conference Finals coverage at ESPN.
I was thinking about this. So I was
He's taking a victory lap on the Nuggets.
Listen, we're already fully back into, we'll speak about the game in a minute. I fully have started to anticipate Brandon Hyde's going to go on a media tour soon, and I don't think it's going to go well.
Yeah, that's what Malone is doing.
He
also said that SGA took the MVP from Jokic. So, I am torn up, which is honestly what Hyde might do. Now, the Orioles don't have any MVP candidates on their team, but,
Oh, just hit my parlay, Kevin.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, Kevin, I just do want to say real fast.
That Lauriano, that encapsulated the entire season. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, prayers to Lauriano. Hopefully his ankle's okay.
Yeah,
and it was that is the 2025.
His fault. His knee gets caught.
I know, yeah. But that play is the 2025 Baltimore Orioles
in a nutshell.
Yeah, just tough. And then, I honestly, people aren't really talking about the game. People are talking more about Elias's interview, which again, that was pretty disappointing, honestly, for me. We were wondering when he was going to speak, and his answer was just kind of I needed a couple days. The players didn't get a couple days. These young guys who had tears in their eyes didn't get a couple days.
Yeah.
What? He's the one that made the decision. Why does he get a couple days? That. It just felt like it was a lose-lose for him, but he handled it in the worst possible way.
Yeah. Listen, Kevin, we've talked about it yesterday. That was my biggest gripe about this whole situation is it's one thing if they fire him on an off day and you wait till the next day. That's one thing. If they fired him on a Monday that they had off and you're listen, Elias is I'm going to speak to the media before the game tomorrow, before anyone else speaks. That's one thing. That's one thing. But like you said, Kevin, Tony Manzolino had to go up there for a post-game press conference immediately. The players all had to go on the field and be asked about. Adley Rutschman was still crying. And then you sit there and you're the GM's I got to get a few days to just kind of think about this. It's been hectic. Yeah. So is the entire season. It should be hectic because you should be sitting there going, hey, we were a World Series contender. Now on May 20th, we're 17 games under 500. And there was a lot of self-evaluation there. I know some people weren't happy with the answers. To me, something I took away from it is it seems like Elias understands his seat's hot. Because he started talking about
there's no shield anymore. There's no shield.
He literally started talking about it, and it's the first time I've ever heard him even mention. He was like, I'm doing this for the future, and pretty much insinuating, he was like, something about whether my personal situation aside, he understands his job's on the line. Like he has to. Like this offseason, if they give him the keys, and I believe they will, whether you think it's right or wrong, I think they're going to give him this offseason. And I'll tell you this, if I'm him, I would rather go down swinging. I would rather take on the massive contracts that don't work out than sit there and try to cheapskate it again. Because if you go cheap again and it starts off like this again, you're out of there. Because at least if you sign big name guys and you start off slow, it's like, hey, he's putting everyone out there. Like right now, every single person. We had Freddie Gonzalez on today for the Ryan Ripken show. We also had Dave Tremblay, too. Obviously, Freddie Gonzalez was the bench coach last year. He said, one, it's the pitching. He said even offensively, it's demoralizing when you're down 7-0 immediately to start games. But he said the same thing about Hyde. He's like, he had to do with what was given to him. Like he was handed Charlie Morton as the day 2 starter. Like it's hard. It's a business, but man.
I mean, again, it's like stuff we talked about. I'm not gonna go down my whole spiel because I've said my spiel 55 million times. It feels like, which is about as much as they paid Tyler O'Neill, by the way. But I just feel like everything had to go absolutely perfectly for them from a starting pitching perspective to even have a shot to be good. And even if it did, there was no guarantee, with obviously Morton being in the rotation and all, everybody had to stay healthy. Yeah. And you're relying on a guy because we talked about it. It's like Grayson, do we even know who Grayson is? Like legitimately, do we know who Grayson Rodriguez is? I'm talking about on the mound, because he hasn't played enough. And it's not that Grayson doesn't have talent. He absolutely does. I'm not trying to say he doesn't. He is an awesome pitcher. But I want to know who Grayson fully is. And because he misses so much time, and again, injuries are a part of the game. I'm not blaming Grayson for getting injured, so please don't take it that way. But it's just unfortunate. Because I want to know to the full extent who is Grayson Rodriguez. And we just haven't been able to get that answer. And so when you are relying on that for a team that is trying to contend for a pitcher that, one, you don't know if he's going to stay healthy, and two, he's uber talented, but you don't know who he is, that's a difficult decision to go with. And then obviously, Eflin had a great year. I have no problem with them wanting to go by Eflin, but you knew Bradish wasn't coming back until at least the middle of the season, if not missing the entire year. And so, again, your stopgap options, which are 41, 36-year-olds,
And
it's just,
Kevin, let's not look at this
I've
way.
said it so many times.
We talked about, this is on the same, I guess, wavelength, but a little bit different discussion. When you talk about looking at next year, you have Bradish, you have Gracie, you don't know who they are. Are you, at this point, do you have Bradish even come back this year? Do you risk?
I might be having that conversation about Grayson if it's serious enough.
But that's what I'm saying. With these guys, if it's this bad, I would almost shut them down again. Now
they're on pace for 110 losses this year.
At this point, I would not risk them at all, especially with their injury history.
No,
get them to 1,000% before Tyler Wells as well.
Again, you cannot even think about winning series anymore. And you gotta be sweet. This has been a 2-week conversation between you and I, but you have to go on multiple 10-game winning streaks at this point to even get back to close to where you want to be.
Kevin, could you here's what's crazy. Could you imagine a 17-game win streak? Imagine everything that would have to go into that. A 17-game win streak. You find a way 17 straight days to come out with a win. All the magic that would have to happen. The feelings we would get. 17 days without a loss. And you would be at 500. You wouldn't even be in a playoff spot. after 17 straight games. Like, if you won 17 straight, we would still be out of a playoff spot.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I kind of look at it right now, is like, could I imagine the winning streak it would take to get us back? Because think about, like, when it was 8 games, when we were 8 games below 500, it was like,
that's manageable.
We've realistically could do that.
It sucks, but it's manageable.
We've already seen multiple teams this season. I think it's like 5 or 6 have had 8-game-plus win streaks. Like, it happens. That's and then you get 8 straight games, you're back in, and it's like, boom. Do you go on 2 8-game win streaks? That's how you have to do. Like, you just.
I mean, at least.
It's just, But
imagining this team doing it is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just so much fundamentally wrong. Everybody's in their heads. Mancelino was kind of thrust into this whole thing. The messaging is still wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Not from Mancelino, but Elias. And Mancelino's still learning how to do the messaging thing. Like, it's to have him get thrown into that spot, it's a challenge. And, it's something that I want to give him grace for. But at the same time, like, this team is trying to be the best version of themselves. But what is the best version of themselves? Like realistically, what does that even look like?
I can tell you one thing. We want to talk about the best version of this team. It's something abundantly clear. It starts with Jackson Holiday, because we want to talk about a kid. Jackson Holiday is like this, and it's what's frustrating. Could you imagine if Jackson and Gunnar doing what they do? Adley just gets out of his head and just puts it together again, like he was in spring training, like he was at the beginning of last year, every time before the middle of last year. You get Jordan Westberg back, and he becomes the producer again. He gets back to that. Colton Cowser's going to Aberdeen tomorrow. I'll be on the call there, so I'll report back. I'll report back. So, like, the talent's there. It's just like, that's what's so frustrating about it. Talent's there. And we talked about Jim Bowden, 16-year MLB manager on Foul Territory today, talked about, like, he said, put Jackson at short, Gunnar at third, Westberg at second, and Mayo at first. I disagree with that, with switching Jackson and everything. But if they keep falling, I do not oppose being like, hey, we're giving these young, put Kerstead in the lineup every single day. Put Mayo in the lineup every single day. We see what it's doing for Jackson. We see what it's doing. If Basayo comes up, because now I'll tell you this, I think Basayo coming up early is a much more reasonable. If they were competing, I was saying August, September, really the earliest. I could see him in July if he keeps playing well, and they just wanting to see guys develop this year. I could see him getting the call. But if he comes up here, you better play him every damn day. Between catcher and DH, he better be playing every damn day.
Do you know the one thing that would cure vibes and just automatically, even if the Orioles lost every game for the next 2 weeks, you want to know what would get the vibes automatically back up?
What's that?
A Jackson Holiday extension. A Jackson Holiday extension. That's my new agenda. Orioles, the season is done. All right. Look ahead. Look to the future. You want to take that first step? Well, why don't you lock up one of the guys that clearly is going to be a heck of a ball player for a very long time? You get him on a deal, Christian Campbell, some of those other types of contracts, get him under whatever. Now, I do understand the other side of this story, which is who represents a lot of these guys. That certainly could be
unfortunately, it's Mr. Scott Boras.
Yeah. And look, it's a smart play. Like, I honestly, if I'm the Orioles, I want Jackson to sign tomorrow. If I'm Jackson, I want to wait this thing out, especially with the way his career is going. Now, there's risk involved on both sides there, where, if Jackson, it goes downhill, which I I don't think it will. I'm a believer in Jackson. And I just say, that would get the vibes up. Now, would it get the vibes up enough to completely overwrite what's happened this year? No, of course not. Like, this year is still a disappointment and a failure, and all the words that we've said here since after opening day. Can't we just have 162 opening days?
Yeah.
It's best team in baseball, best team in history.
Adley would be the greatest hitter of all time. He really would. Let's get into a few more super chats real fast.
Okay, all right, yeah. Then I have a question for you.
All right, let's get the question first. And then
you want the question first?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do with Adley Rutschman? And is he a long-term part of this team's plans?
Yes. I still believe this team goes as Adley Rutschman goes. And it's evident because him falling off a cliff has been the demise of this team. I think both offensively and defensively. I think Bautista is going to be a better offensive player? I hope so, because we haven't seen that much for Adley. But I still think Adley's here long term. I find it very hard to imagine them not locking him. And I know people aren't going to like that because of how he's playing. I just find it very hard to see them, because if he doesn't play well, I think they just sign him for cheap. Do you get what I mean? I don't think it's something where it's he's not playing. I think they would almost prefer that, and they could sign him for cheaper. But I think they are still going to be keeping Adley long term. Now, if you make me choose between Adley or Bautista, I'm taking Bautista right now, the unknown, without a chance.
Sure. I tend to agree with you, and I think the thing that I want to emphasize is if he keeps playing badly, I'm fine with them signing him to a cheap extension. Let's be clear. He's lost money. He's lost a lot of money. A lot of money. And that's the risk you play.
Mm-hmm.
That's the risk you play. But I think that, look, even if this turns into he's signed for super cheap and you play him in the bottom of the lineup, I think that's the direction they're going to go in. Now, I think that this should not be an Adley blocks Bautista thing. You have to play Bautista. And if it costs Adley, it costs Adley. I agree with you. I'm picking Bautista over Adley. You cannot make the mistake, if you're the Orioles, that you have made for, I think, in my opinion, a lot of these other young players who are just not getting proper opportunities, a la Kobe Mayo, yanking him all around, yanking Kerstead around, yank Stowers and Norby and all these guys. You cannot yank Bautista around.
No.
So whether that looks like one of those guys plays first, you DH, whatever it looks like, both of them play or Bautista plays only. It cannot be Adley and no Bautista. It is what it is. Because you're right. You take the unknown of Bautista over what Adley has shown you. And look, Adley has not shown you a lot over the past year. And we can all be realistic and honest about that. But in terms of the extension Adley's going, I think that the way that I look at it compared to how we look at it now is we're not in conversations of Adley getting this lucrative extension anymore. This I think would be a middling extension for Adley. Now, he might have something to say about that. And he says, a team like the Angels is willing to offer me more money. I'm going to leave. Okay, that's fine. But based off what his worth is right now, there is a certain threshold to me that would be acceptable. And we are not talking about the threshold that we were literally a calendar year ago. And it has dropped significantly. So I would take a swing on the upside, but realize that if it's a lesser deal and you have Bautista there, it's less of a risk that you take on. And I just think, honestly, if we're being realistic, the Orioles are going to bring him back. And regardless of whether we want him back or not, if you want him back or not, I just think that's what's going to end up happening. It would be pandemonium, by the way, in this fan base if he was the first guy they signed.
And that's most likely. I think he's the most likely extension.
Yeah.
I still think that. So actually, ties in really well with our first super chat. Rather, Ryan, appreciate you. Right. I think we just kind of covered it pretty well. But yeah, past calendar year, it's been rough. It really has. It's been
bad.
It's been bad. It has been. Pocket Watch, appreciate you gifting.
Appreciate you, Pocket Watch.
Memberships. Tommy Appreciate you saying hi through Felix. Multiple innings in 23 over and over. And now he's a regular 97 mile per hour reliever. Last has to go. I mean, that's Tommy John. He's still going to build up. I don't like how long they're keeping him. Obviously, 8-game losing streak. You're not bringing your closer in much, so he's not getting much run. But, I mean, I'm still kind of with Felix. Kevin, I don't know about you. I'm still he's ramping up. He shows the flashes, but I'm not his mile per hour, how hard he throws right now. I'm not necessarily going to put too much stock in it because we've seen it fluctuate so much this season. It's still going to take him a year to get back from Tommy John, like fully recovered. So, I think unfortunately it sucks because this season's probably going to be, already feels gone, but you probably see him back at full strength in like July where he can go multiple innings.
Yeah, and again, it just takes certain guys certain timelines to get back. And I think that the conception or maybe misconception with injuries is that when a player is back on the field, they're 100% and everything is good. And maybe the physical part of it is like they're able to go out there and be a player in whatever sport that is. But there is still trusting yourself, trusting your body, getting your mental right, being on the field. And we've seen Felix struggle this season in different spots. He's also been successful in different spots. I truly think Felix is working it out. The velocity for him hopefully is consistent and gets more consistent.
Yeah. I think that's
I'm not gonna lay down that verdict here on May 20th. Like if it is, it is. But I'm gonna give it more time before we fully get to there, because we've seen, and it's not just baseball, it's football, it's basketball, it's hockey, right? It's
and this is Tommy John. This is his elbow. I mean, this is his main thing. So it's gonna take some time. I feel like most guys return from Tommy John and they're not fully themselves for at least a full season. So I think we still got to take it slow with him, at least for right now. Walter, appreciate you saying we may not win 17 more games total. Let 17 in a row. Fortunately, that's how it's feeling. Just hoping somehow they can turn around and make this semi-competitive. But yeah, right now it's definitely looking more likely that they would only be able to win 17 games the rest of the way. And then the Wrath of Ryan, appreciate you saying we honestly supposed to trust Elias going forward after such a disastrous offseason, on pace to lose over 100 games after winning 190 plus last two. This is where I think the fan base is split. Or not even the fan base. I think the fan base is leaning pretty heavily if they do not trust him.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I necessarily trust him for free agents right now. That's for sure. I don't trust him in, trades. I know the Rodgers trade everyone hates. I still love the Eflin trade. Obviously, he's been better at making trades when he's been a seller than when he's been a buyer. So maybe that helps this season. But it really is. It's hard to trust him right now. It really is hard to trust him.
I don't trust him during this deadline. I'm not saying every move he's made has been bad. That'd be just not true. But it's about situational awareness of, what does this team need? And so there are like a bunch of different directions that they could go in, not in terms of like, should they sell off guys or not? Like clearly the way this year is going, that has to be the conversation right now. But what do you get back for those guys? It's kind of like the conversation we had last night. Do you go the prospect route, or do you go guys that can help you next year and the year after that? Clearly it's option 2, but if you're trading Cedric Mullins or Ryan O'Hearn to contenders, what contender is going to give you back a piece that they also believe contributes to their winning? Right. And so it's a fine line you have to toe. And can Mike Elias toe that line? You need to get a guy that needs to change the scenery, but where are those guys? So, and again, it's not like the Orioles moving off of guys like Stowers and Norby last year was understandable, but it was just who the return was. It's what they got in return for these guys. And, Zach, you and I were talking last year about the fact that, hey, if you can get a good player for a Norby Stowers or, you can package 2 of those guys in separate deals and get good players back that can help. Okay, that's great. And that was not the problem. Because if you were going to choose Heston over Stowers, that was your decision. You couldn't keep both. It was pretty apparent. But it was who the return was. That was the issue from the second that trade happened. And it's just, it's disheartening when you think about, the returns that they could get for some of these guys. You could actually get like pieces that can help you both next year and in the future. But do you trust the guy at the helm? And I think, with this fan base, the answer is pretty unitedly no. So it's tough. It's tough.
It's extremely tough. And the Orioles, like, Elias and them, it's hard to, like, you can't blame anyone but themselves.
They did this. Organizationally. Yeah,
they really did. And also, Tommy, appreciate you, new member.
Appreciate you, Tommy.
Membership saying spending my money on you guys, not the Orioles. We really appreciate you, and we really appreciate everybody who tunes in.
Yeah.
I think we should get to some call-ins before we wrap.
Let's do some call-ins.
We've had another one of those things. It feels like last season towards the end where we barely talk about this game because it's another day. It's another day.
Another day, and why.
And it's frustrating. It's demoralizing. It's draining. Chase McDermott didn't look bad. He didn't look bad. He didn't look bad at all. Bad. Jackson Holiday obviously continuing to be a stud, but they're things that they lost. Like, that's a big thing. Like, every day there's a, little positive here, a little positive there, but they lose. Like, that's just.
And now you're back while you're putting the link in. Now we're back to the, like, whose role is where now.
I would love if legitimately, and man, if you didn't see today's Ryan Ripken show, we had Cedric on, we had Freddie Gonzalez and Dave Tremblay all on. Some of the stories, or not even the story, but like just mindsets and things they were talking about with analytics, and you can't overthink things, all that stuff. Like, it feels after listening to them, and everyone sees it. Everyone sees the issue, and they all say the same thing. People need to have roles. You need to have guys. Everyone can't be an all-star. Everyone can't be the star player. Everyone, that's the big thing is we can't have 26 individuals. You have to have a team. You have to have a guy, what Dave Tremblay was saying, you have to have a guy that gets on and is going to get guys, you have to have a guy who's going to get guys over. You have to have a guy that's going to get guys in, So there were so many different, I guess, conversations that when you're listening to these guys talk, you're like, that's the thing that's missing right now is these guys don't necessarily feel like they, have roles, have big parts on this squad, or, what part they do have, it's unsure. Am I pitching in this situation? Am I pitching in that situation? They don't know where they're going to be, and it makes it tougher. So let's move into our first call-in. We're going to Australia. We got AJ.
If I had a nickel for every time the Orioles were in a losing spiral and their best hitter named Ramon got a leg injury, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice now.
Look, I'm going to say it again. Is Ramon Lauriano the best outfielder of all time in Orioles history?
Of all time. Like, righty killer Ramon Lauriano, as we signed.
It's just unbelievable.
That's probably the most upsetting part of the season is all these lefty killers are just, like, not hitting lefties. Mountcastle's hitting righties better. O'Neill, when he was, for the 4 games he played, was hitting righties better. Lauriano's hitting righties better. It's just such a disaster class of a season.
You're telling me that's how it feels. Talk about, and it just feels like that in every aspect, and nothing's going well. There is no good.
No good. It's nothing. Nothing is going. We are literally. It feels like we're in the midst of multiple 100-loss seasons, and we're like, oh, the process is better. We can see these guys for the future. It's like we've been in the playoffs the last 2 years, and we were top 5 in power rankings coming into the season. And this is what we're talking about. It's insane. You're talking about ripping off 17 straight, which I know is just a hypothetical for how many we'd have to win to get to 500. We haven't won 3 straight in a year.
Yeah. I don't even know.
We've won 2 straight, twice this season?
Yeah.
How many times have we had back-to-back wins this season? Not a lot.
I can't even put a number on it, but that number is low.
It's low.
It is low. But again, it's like, you give the money to O'Neal. You're spending almost what they give Gary $8.5 million for Sanchez, right? So or was it 5? Was it 5 or 8 for Sanchez?
It was too many millions for
it was 8.5, I think.
Too many millions. That is correct. Yeah. So the Orioles spent money for the first time in a long time. They just spent it in all the wrong places.
But good news for all of us is that Tyler O'Neill will be an Oriole next season.
Hey, one less hole to fill. One less hole to fill.
Can you be like, oh, my everything's broken and I can't walk anymore? Let me cash in the check from the Orioles. God,
I mean that was always the risk.
Davis to play. At this point, can he just?
Yeah. That early season, Tyler O'Neill gave me chills. Won't lie.
You just gotta hope he goes on just a run in September and feels like he can get a big deal.
Yeah, seriously. Please get away from. He seems like such a. And I remember you were talking about at the beginning of the season that if he was a guy that if he stayed healthy and he he was a guy that the fans could fall in love with. And oh my God, he's
every other fan base he's been at loves him. He's just always on the IL.
Yeah, I mean, just this team, it's hard. We have to have the most tone deaf front office, perhaps of all time. Oh, hectic week. I wasn't ready to speak to the media, but you're chucking out your 21-year-olds who've only known this manager their whole life.
Yeah. I mean, that's what sucks is it's the players that had to speak, all those guys that had to talk about it, but the GM not getting in front to speak about it. I think that was what was disappointing to a lot of people. I think it was frustrating to a lot of people who are like, hey, dude, you're the one who made this decision. Talk about it. We've said it multiple times. Kevin, could you imagine the Ravens moving on from Harbaugh and them not having a press conference that same day or the next one immediately?
Which means all the complaining Ravens fans we do about Harbaugh, can we take a moment of appreciation for EDC and the Ravens right now? Because if Eric DeCosta was putting us through what Mike Elias is putting us through right now, I don't think the city of Baltimore would recover. But how many more days till opening day kickoff?
Kevin, you should know.
Too many, because I don't know how long I can watch this team for.
I mean, I've just been it's been brutal. I need to call in for a win.
I know. That's first on everybody's checklist. It's multiple people that just need to call in after wins, and it's been so long.
It's been so long. Remember when we broke the ramen curse, or thought we did?
That was the highlight of the year. That was the highlight. And I don't want it to be the only highlight of the year. I want to have more highlights.
Some of the best vibes of the season. Kevin, you saved our season, except you didn't. So
he saved our season for the day.
I saved it for one game, and you know what? I'm proud of my accomplishment.
Yeah.
And you were the one that pushed that. So shout out to you.
It was your triumph.
Coming on with the sunglasses after that win. Oh man, that was just peak vibes. Peak vibes. Awesome. Well, AJ, appreciate you calling in, man. Maybe a win tomorrow. Maybe it'll happen. We'll see.
Maybe just not a loss in the most embarrassing fashion, please.
Yeah. Well, that'd be a start.
That'll be a start.
Can we just not blow the game again?
Yeah.
You're asking for too much, AJ. You're asking.
One baby steps.
Baby steps. Appreciate you, AJ. We'll catch you next time.
Awesome. Peace out, AJ.
I gotta get something off my chest. Tony Manzolino keeps referring to runs as points in his post-game press conference, and it's pissing me off.
Is he?
People on Twitter can't stop talking about it. He was like, yeah, they They got the bloop single in there for 2 points.
That feels so wrong.
How are you in baseball and call them points?
That feels so wrong. Actually, wait, I have a quick story. Actually, Sam. I'll tell the story when Sam comes on because I said.
All right, so we got Arkansas.
We got Joe next. Joe, what's going on? How you feeling?
You know what? You know what this team needs?
What do they need, Joe?
They need people to show up for them. They need people to give them support. They need people to stop shitting all over them because of poor performance. These men are human beings.
I hear you.
The mental health
is
real. To say I'm going to stop watching and continue to watch. What's that do? Be a fan. Stand up for your team. Don't walk away when they're down. This isn't 2018, 2019. I'll say I can't name 2 Orioles from 2020 or 2019. I gave up. I had a lot going on, but still, I gave up. I wasn't willing to watch a rebuild. This is not what this is. This is failure. And when you're failing, you need support. You don't need people making you cry. Now, that was a bad way for Mike Elias to say what he said.
Sure.
I understand why he said it that way. That was a huge decision that he just had to walk back on. But he did leave his guys out to dry. Closed the clubhouse for 2 days. If you need time, those men need time. So you fucked them this week. Excuse my language, but you fucked them by leaving them out to dry like that. Give them 2 days.
I don't agree with having to have all the players answer before the guy.
Yeah, it feels like all or nothing for sure. Like, either everybody answers or nobody answers.
They can't stand in that locker room and say, "Where's Mike?" or "The bosses aren't here," because that's just not professional on their end. But to leave your guys hanging high and dry like that, that's not team either. But I understand why Mike needed some time. You need some time to process stuff. And he's on the hook. And these people need to show up the next homestand. Stand up, applaud for every at-bat. Show support. Turn the team around. Stop shitting all over them on every social media platform you can find. Stop walking away and not walking away. I get it. You're fans. But be supportive. They're human. It's a game. Relax.
There is the human element to it. And I think, I agree with your point of like everybody should have answered or nobody should have answered. Like, you can give yourself time and that's fine. But, everybody, it shouldn't have been so spaced out because now it feels unnatural that Elias had to answer. Like he went up there and answered today. So if you need time, then okay, everybody gets time. But baseball's a quick moving thing. So, that was the big news. And, if it wasn't on the field before the game, Leona had gone up there during his post-game press conference and answered questions anyway. So it felt like it was very split up unnaturally in terms of how people within the organization answered or when people within the organization answered. So
you heard it today in the Tremblay interview. Fundamentals.
Yep.
Get back to basics.
Got to.
That's all Tony needs. He's a great infield coach. Been the infield coordinator. Just back to basics.
It's where you have to start.
And hey, we got a manager that wears a uniform now. A jersey. Imagine that. A jersey.
Yeah.
You know what? Baby steps. Maybe things are turning around.
I mean, not some hoodie and just, it's baby steps indeed. Everybody stop, because as soon as they turn it around, all these haters are going to be like, I knew it was going to happen. I had confidence all along. I got receipts, motherfuckers. I know who you are. You're not being supportive. And I'm going to call it out every chance I get.
Receipts, I think it's a heck of a thing.
It's a long road back. They got to start somewhere, and I think
we're not going to win the World Series, but let's get a win. Let's get 2 wins.
Yep, and then we can work back.
Let's see if we can get Mr. Rutschman back to being a 1-1 pick. I mean,
would be nice.
You know, when the Phillies stood up for Trey, and did the applause, that's what we need to do. We need to show out and show up.
I'm in, Joe. Kevin, write it down.
All right.
Show out and show up.
Down. I'll write it down.
Put it on a shirt. Let's go.
Yeah, awesome. Joe, we appreciate you as always, man. Thanks for calling in. We'll get you next time, all right?
We'll see you tomorrow.
Awesome. All right, Joe.
Appreciate you. It is one of those things, though. I mean, I feel like the big thing is just with Elias. I think I just don't get the whole, hey, I'm taking 3 days off. I'm taking not 3 days off, but I want 3 days to think about what I'm going to say. But I know my players and my new interim manager have to go and answer all the questions. Like that's a bad situation to put your team in. That just.
Yeah, and it's just like even defensive fundamentals are off. Like it's just stuff that should be easy for these. And look, I'm not asking everyone to be perfect, right? Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. That's not what I'm saying. But it happens far too often. A lot of stuff happens far too often. So if you get back to basics, get back to fundamentals, yeah, that's a start. But then you have to continue to build on. So,
it is. It's a start, and they just gotta. They're gonna have to figure something out because you can't start 17 games. The road to 500. It's got to start with a win. That's all it is. Let's head on to our next caller. We got Sam behind the scenes. Sam, what's going on, my guy?
Fellas, how y'all doing?
No, I'm trying to find your comment so I can tell my story. Okay, all right, here it is. The spoonful of wasabi. So I was eating. I forget where I was, but I ordered something, and for some reason it was avocado, and then it had a side of wasabi on it, and I didn't tell the difference. I lathered up that wasabi on this sandwich, and I just bit down on this thing. I could not stop crying for like an hour. I was in tears. I was in pain. So I've tried it once. Maybe I will try it again to see if we can break this thing. Because I don't know what else to do at this point.
It's one thing to know that it's freaking hot as heck and to bite into it, but to not know that that's what that is. I mean, you're like Mater on Cars 2 there.
I was not expecting it at all. I was like, okay.
That's amazing. That's amazing, dude. Oh, gosh.
All right, how you feeling about the team? What's on your mind?
What hasn't been said? I don't really know. I mean, it's one of those things where, I didn't, seeing the comments about the Elias thing and kind of hearing y'all talk about it. Mike Elias to me is like the Gavin Newsom of GMs. He's very smooth talking. He says a lot, but he doesn't say anything. Mm-hmm. He's really just a politician. I mean, Gavin Newsom, I think, is the best comparison because the dude's a snake anyway. So, I mean, with that, it's like he says a lot, but he says nothing. And again, not really going to go to Jackson on that because he's only 21 and he's only known Hyde for about a year. But, with Adley, I mean, we saw what that did to him. And then you're throwing these guys in behind the cameras and Elias is like, yeah, let me take 3 days. It's just not good. You just can't feel good as a player. Like, that's my GM. Like, man, like I'm playing for this guy. Like, come on. He's not even giving us the privacy we need, but he thinks he needs it. This, he's to blame. And if I'm a player, that's what I'm thinking. He's the one who did this. He set this team up for failure just before the season started, and it's rough. I mean, at this point, sitting 17 below 500, I think, I'm trying to figure out how to really say this. I think this could be it's not a good thing, but it could be a blessing in disguise for the future because my goodness, I don't know who I was watching the other day or who I was listening to, but they mentioned the amount of guys that are on expiring contracts. It's a lot. I know they got they have Seti, O'Hearn,
Zagano,
Lauriano,
Eflin.
Sagano, Eflin. They got a bunch of guys that are on expiring deals that any team would really want to have. Even a guy like O'Hearn, who he can play first, he can play right field, he can DH. He'd be a good fit anywhere. And so I think for something you'll get some value for them, hopefully. I don't know, given Elias's history, Zach, I think you said it earlier. He was better as a seller than he was as a
Yeah.
buyer. And so maybe, who knows, this could be the last good thing he can do for the team. Personally, I do have to disagree with you. I don't think he makes it to the offseason. Or sorry, no, I don't think he has another offseason. I think he's done after this year, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's my hope, at least.
It's going to be about the deadline too. If he makes a bunch of moves at the deadline that they feel like put the team in a very good position to succeed, at least in the future. Whether that's they felt like he got a great haul back for, whatever prospects he gets, MLB ready guys. I think the deadline is going to decide a lot on his future this offseason.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am curious though. Oh, sorry, Kev. I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off
no,
there.
go ahead. Go. I was just gonna.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I am curious though. Like, if you look at my tag, it's got D-Row for manager.
Yeah.
D-Row for manager. Like, I would love that. I mean, he's doing Team USA next year, so I don't know if that's feasible. But with you guys, who do you think is going to fit? Like, who do you want to see? I guess I should say as manager for next year.
I mean, honestly, I want an old school guy here. I think this team needs an old school manager that's not going to be fully into analytics. I think of, even the guys like the Joe Maddens and stuff, guys who have been there, who have won rings, who have, they've been through the ringer. They've had all these opportunities and have had to fail and then bring teams out of failure. I think that's the biggest thing, would love D-Row. D-Row's one of those few guys that I would take the chance on as a younger guy. I jokingly say Ryan Flaherty just because I'd be hilarious just to see Ryan Flaherty back here, but I don't think that would be the greatest way to go. I think getting a veteran guy, an old school guy that can come in here and just kind of change the vibe of the clubhouse, I think that would do a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I like both those guys. Madden and D-Row were my first two. I mean, you can go with a younger option, but I agree with Zach. It's just like they need someone in that clubhouse that can establish leadership as early as possible and as firmly as possible. And it's not in the way that's like, okay, they're going to be such a, stickler for every single thing. Nobody's going to have any fun, because that's not going to work either. But it's just about knowing the game, having a feel for the game. And not that the younger guys don't, but I think experience matters for a younger core. If this was an older core with more vets on it, you could take a swing with a younger guy and see if it would work and make that big splash. It's more high risk, high reward. But I think you just need to start off with a very solid baseline of a guy that has the potential. Like Joe Madden's been there. These guys have been there. And for a younger group, I think that those words would carry with someone that they can respect in that locker room, but also someone that can lead them. And that to me is I think that it's not that they didn't like Hyde. Clearly, they had relationships with him, but it's just that I think the season was going the way it was. I'm sure the messaging was kind of falling on deaf ears, not in a way that they hated him, but just like, okay, like, what do we do? They needed a shake up. So Hyde was the one that got the short end of that stick.
And unfortunately, our manager runs points. That is
that is crazy.
I saw that on X, I think yesterday or today, and I had to go on YouTube to find the post-game interview. I'm like, there is no shot. There is no shot. And then I heard him say points, and I'm like, this just perfectly summarizes this season. We got a manager calling him points. I mean, who knows? Maybe he was a basketball coach or whatever. And before he was a baseball coach, I kind of want to get this port because it's like, I'm not going to talk crap on him. I mean, that's funny. Like, I'm not talking crap on him. That's just funny.
When he's done, I was like, you know what? At this point,
that's just funny. It's like, but he's been thrown into the ringer. He, again, he had to do a pregame interview and say like, how do you feel about this? And it's like, well, how do you want me to feel? I'm just asked to take over for a guy that everybody loves. It's not easy. And so, I mean, for someone like him, it's like, okay, we know this is temporary. We know he's either done sometime this year or at the very least at the end of the year. So it's like, ride the train, see what he does. And who knows, maybe he'll be okay for this year. But like I said, I don't think the season's salvageable. I mean, I'm kind of following him at a distance at this point. Still watching games, here and there. Like turning turning the game on, a couple innings and then doing something else instead of just being fully invested in it, and just kind of follow them and see like, okay, where's the improvement? Let's see. Hopefully they win a game. That would be amazing. But yeah,
Start. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the story of the season. Yeah, it's been a minute, but yeah. What do you guys think? Do you guys think there's a possibility Matt Holliday could be a hitting coach? Because we need him. My goodness, we need him.
If he's interested, you got to make that call.
I was gonna say, I don't know
if that happens, we probably lock up Jackson.
Yeah, I mean,
you think.
You would hope. You would hope. Yeah,
you would hope so.
At the way that these extension talks are going, I'm not even sure if that would help him with Scott Boras. But Sam, appreciate you calling in as always, my guy.
Yeah.
And hopefully we get to talk after a win sometime.
Yeah. And real quick, though, I want to kind of jump back to what I said before. I want to apologize for what I said about Newsom. That wasn't okay for me to say that, like for me to call him a snake like that. No, I'm genuinely serious.
You're cool, man. We appreciate it.
I'm just saying, I was looking at the comments. I'm like, yeah, that wasn't okay for me to say that. So I just want to throw that apology out there for him and for my fellow California O's fans.
California O's. All right, Sam.
Also appreciate you, Sam.
All right, take care, guys.
All right.
Take care. Awesome. It is just the managerial decision at the end, I guess, because I don't see them doing what they did with Buck, where they hired Juan Samuel right after Tremblay, and then they were like, we were making a second move midseason.
Yeah,
it's Manzolino for the year.
No.
We're scoring points the rest of the year. So, get used to it. But if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. Got about 180 people still watching on YouTube. Got some people over on X as well. But appreciate it. Hit that like and subscribe button. We got Gordon next. He's still here even after a loss. Gordon, how we doing?
Gordon, this makes my night. The fact that you called in after the loss.
Hey, look, I'm not talking about the Orioles, all right? I just wanted to call and say tomorrow, be on the lookout on the Capitals Instagram. They're posting a video of me and the rug that I made for them. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Nice.
So, no Orioles talk.
Okay.
I'm sticking to my vibe, even though.
Hey, that's a positive. That's a positive vibe. I love it.
Yeah. So
let's go, man. Well, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Am I tempted to say something, or should I just wait until it win? Because
you ride your vibe, man. Ride your vibe.
Only thing that I just want to say is this team just looks so depleted. After you saw Adley's, pass out there, the way he was just standing there, he just looked defeated, and I was just like, yeah, that's just this team. But good night to you guys, and have a good one.
All right, Gordon. Calling in. Appreciate you calling in, my guy.
I will be on the lookout tomorrow.
Yes,
Appreciate you.
Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. Awesome.
Oh, that was all. That was the vibe change I needed for the night. That was exactly what we needed.
Man, vibes are back. O's are back. They're never losing again.
Are the O's fine?
Oh, let's. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Right. Okay. You there are certain lines. And I don't know if we can bring that one out right now. I don't know if we can ever bring that one out again this season, if we're being honest.
Oh, the real fast do want to say, Shab.
Yeah.
Thanks for the gift and membership.
Appreciate everybody who's gifting. Appreciate everybody who's donating. It means the world. We love this community, seriously. And whether you've been with us since day one or you've been with us just today, we appreciate you for tuning in, for listening, and for watching along. So.
Yeah.
This is Kevin and Zach React, post-game Orioles destination, win or lose. A lot of losing this season. But we still are here for you. So
we're a game closer to Champaign, though. 2 games away from Champaign.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, man. I don't want them to go on a 10-game losing streak.
If the O's lose tomorrow, I might root for the loss on Thursday, just so I get.
No rooting for loss. Oh, well, if you want to be a tank, if you want to embrace the tank,
No, I just want to embrace the. I made a promise if they lose 10 straight after the next win, I would pop champagne. I would just for content reasons.
Well, you would have to really do it up like 10 times better than the first video.
Yeah. That one was special though, because that was 14 games. I didn't even. I mean, we thought that was.
Where did you posted that on Twitter? Just random.
Yeah, dude. This was before I had a following. I had like 200 followers. I posted.
That is so electric. That is
like
so
I was just. I just literally had like 200 followers, nothing but vibes, tweeting into the void, popping champagne in 21.
I cannot tell you how much I love that. You were so serious about it too. That's for those that haven't seen the video. After what was it? Was it their 17? No,
it was the 14.
14. Zach it was on what, your deck or something? Your deck. He got on his deck. And stone cold face go, the O's are back. They won it, and just like I'm not gonna. You can show the video. I'm not gonna make the motion.
I was gonna say I'm gonna try to find it.
All right. Well, while you're finding that, let's bring in our last. I'm not gonna let Zach do the transition because we've seen how that goes with
okay, this is.
I'm just saying. So if he is there, we can bring him on. He sometimes likes to call in here. You might know him. His name is Ryan Ripken. You might have heard of him before. Ryan, what's going on?
Hey, nothing.
You're in Ravens season already?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know I got a little chilly. But no one does a segue like Zach Bollinger.
Yeah, that's the
truth.
Singular atrocious segue, and you never live it down.
Yeah, well.
Castellanos hits a home run to left field.
Very similar vibes.
Yeah. Well, no, honestly, I was just coming on to for everyone out in the community, man. Like you guys said it, but through thick and thin, for everyone, like Zach and Kevin are here for you guys. I mean, dude, shit sucks sometimes, and
it's not great right now. Yep.
No, it's not. But like I said, so for everyone out there, if you guys haven't subscribed, like everything you guys are throwing this way, these guys are here for you. And I think it's amazing. And again, like you need the emotions involved with it, right? And whatever the hell else you guys are doing, the pop and bubbly. I mean, Zach, I've done some crazy stuff when I've lost a lot of games. You've heard me discuss it.
Those stories are something. Yeah.
We got to find the right place and time for those ones, but
the right paywall to put those behind.
Yeah, one thing I was thinking about, Manzo still hasn't had his first win as a manager. And usually when you get your first win as a manager, they do the beer showers and whatnot. So I've been kind of waiting if they're going to do that for him, but I don't know. It hasn't happened. You're sitting there. They need some type of, thing. And maybe they need to, change it up, even though I'd love to see you do some champagne bubbly. It's like a conflicting thing, but yeah, I think I want the Birds to get a victory.
Yeah. Do you want to do like one shot for every loss?
You know what? That's been part of also like how do we get out of a losing streak? Well, it's like, hey, you, me, a few of my teammates, let's get this bottle of tequila and let's see what happens. That has been a recipe, not always for success, but for disaster.
Yeah.
It's always a good decision. Always a good decision.
Oh,
but yeah, you guys are doing great. You guys hanging in?
Oh yeah,
we're hanging.
Yeah.
We got like 2 hours of sleep last night. I had to wait for my furniture to be delivered, and I didn't know they gave you like that timeline.
Oh yeah, because what time did you go to sleep?
Well, I went. Okay, because
I was like, why?
That's not important. That's not important. But I woke up at 9:15.
Okay.
I actually got 4 hours of sleep. I went to bed at 5:30, but I got 4 hours of sleep, and then I had to wait for the furniture. I missed you today, Ryan. Nolan told me you were going to be on, and then you said no, Ryan today.
I was doing a bar class at Merritt.
Oh man, I got excited. Nolan said Ryan might be in studio tomorrow. I said, hey, let's go
there tomorrow. So I'm on there
So
10 to 2
you're
tomorrow.
just ducking me. You're just ducking me. I go on Tuesdays.
You know what? No one came to me with the bar class today at Merritt. And then Zach and I were outside by the pool for a few hours hanging.
Yeah. I caught when I was waiting, I caught some of the show and it looked nice out there. It was a nice day.
Beautiful out there, actually.
Beautiful day.
And some great conversations.
Yeah, it actually was. And we got a jam-packed one tomorrow too. The what I was gonna say was, Kev, yeah, I mean, it's a shame. It's the one day because I'm on from 10 to 2 tomorrow, Thursday, and then 12 to 2 on Friday.
So I really missed the only day you didn't go on is the one I went on.
Yep. And then obviously we got the show. Are you out tomorrow? Or are you in tomorrow?
No, I'm good for tomorrow.
Cool. We're cooking tomorrow with Kyle. And I'm curious, like we're gonna have Buck Showalter joining during the show. Apparently he was like a big cherry tart guy. So we're gonna talk about food with Buck and
all right.
Maybe he knows a thing or two about, underperforming teams and how to get through some seasons where things aren't going the way that you thought.
Mm-hmm.
Might know a thing or two.
Yeah, it'll be fun to talk to him. And then Sam Perlazzo, actually. It's just like all the managers.
Yeah.
So we have Sam.
We were talking about Juan Samuel. You can get him on. Just keep going. Just keep going down
everybody. Get everybody. But
I see these who actually Wayne Kirby, the first base GOAT. Zach and I are both in agreement on that. First base GOAT.
He's a beast. He's a beast. Yeah, I got all the managers. Actually, when I talked to Buck, he'll probably bring it up. I said, "Hey, man, like you good to?" When he called me, I said, "Hey, you good to come on this week?" He goes, "Of course." I'm like, "Oh, I'm talking to Freddie. Might be talking to some other people." And he goes, "What is this? The fired managers convention?" He goes, "Gladly."
You see what Mike Malone's doing on ESPN? I told Zach about this. He's on ESPN covering the Western Conference Finals. He called Shea the MVP. He said OKC has the best fans in the league. Just like all over the Nuggets, like petty comment after petty comment, and I'm losing my mind over here. So
but you know what? Well,
everybody's mad at Shea for flopping all over the place, which I had to watch for 7 games. So
yeah. Hey, I'll tell a quick little thing right here about people changing their minds and the voodoo of all this things. I see Shout Out Whiskey and Beanie. Hope you like me tonight. I know sometimes you don't. I'll say about like this is kind of the perspective of like guys going through it, right? And you try to find different ways. You try to make yourself laugh. You try to also like contemplate like what the hell do I need to do? And losing does that a lot. And so I'll go back. It was 2021, my last year. And your boy was not playing well. Wasn't playing much. I played the first time in like 8 days. And I was like 0 for 4, broken bat, 3 strikeouts. And I sat in the clubhouse in Memphis. And I just started doing push-ups just in my sliders. Everyone was leaving, and I was distraught. I was pissed. And yeah, you can get the visual there, Kevin. And so I'm just sitting there doing push-ups after a while, and I'm like, you know what? This isn't going to do it. So what I do, I grabbed a tequila bottle that I already had purchased for the trip, and I started taking shots, did 25 push-ups, took a shot, did another 25 push-ups. And I'm sitting there. I don't know why it was therapeutic. Maybe because it was just like, what the hell? I got nothing to lose. Probably ended up taking. I think I ended up doing 250 push-ups that night. I didn't start it at 0, but I think I took like 6 or 7 shots. And I was feeling a little bit spicy, so to speak. Yeah. Maybe like when you eat ramen, Kip. And and I woke up the next day like, gosh, maybe didn't need to do that. My triceps are sore, and we've just been playing a game. But you know what I wasn't thinking of? That I just went 0 for 4 and sucked. And I had a headache, but I let it kind of reset. Then I ended up hitting a home run that night. I think we win the game too. And I was like, oh, Like, all right, cool. Then we lost the next game, and then the whole team's in the clubhouse after drinking, and we're talking about, all right, like let's have some positive thoughts here. You know, what's the ritual? Who's getting the bag of peanuts, right, Zach? So like we had moments like that. Just kidding. Just kind of kidding. But you see what I mean? Like, and that's what this group, it's like how you guys are trying to do this now. I hope that the players can kind of have that type of fun. There's nothing fun about losing, and there's nothing like fun about this whole shit. But you have to find a way to keep showing up and enjoying being there. And right now, it looks like no one's enjoying it. I don't blame them, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
Losing
bad.
sucks.
Yeah, it's bad.
Especially with expectations.
Yeah, dude. I mean, look, this has been the most disappointing team or season the Oriole fans have endured from an expectation standpoint. Like you feel like it's done before it started.
Yeah.
Not saying they're making the playoffs, but imagine that. Like for the players, they're sitting there going, "Shit, we still have to show up." And also, they don't play well. Like half these guys might not have. A lot might not be here next year. It's a tough situation to be.
It's going to be a lot of change.
No one feels sorry for them. But it's just context right there. So I think you need to find ways. Tequila shot, spicy ramen. Kevin, I'll tell them that you're going to give them some more conversations. What you can help with.
Yeah. I'm the one that I told everybody I'm going back to the scene of the crime where I apparently cursed this franchise into oblivion. It's my fault where I did hotel cartwheels and sprints, and that apparently was the moment where it all hit the fan. So
I remember the same.
I'm gonna go back to the scene of the crime. Gonna try to right my wrongs, and if they start winning, I'm taking all the credit. It's nobody else's. It's all me. No one else. That's it.
Yeah. I forgot I was about to tell you guys something. I just saw a comment that reminded me of it. Oh, that was the thing. Maybe also shout out Gordon. We got to get Gordon back in. Gordon, if you're still listening, I'll text you. But I got to get Gordon. We got to get him back in the studio now that we redid it.
Yeah.
And I would love to try to make a rug in studio. That could be a hazard to some of the group here.
It goes better than you trying to place an Orange Crush on a table. Don't think I didn't see that.
We're getting that thing washed, by the way.
It was that bad? I haven't been in since it happened.
Well, the presentation didn't look great. That was a tough moment.
It was tough. You recovered. But it was.
But you know what?
It was tough look.
Not afraid to make mistakes.
Hey, everybody does.
And Laura, I wasn't, but I wish I was.
Yeah, at least you would have that excuse. This was making the first one. Doesn't even have that.
What are we making tomorrow? Are we making cherry tarts? Is that what it is? Or
no. Let me see real quickly. Ooh, no, Laura. Again, I wish I was. Believe me. We are making chicken pasta. 2 different types of pasta tomorrow.
Ooh, I'm a big pasta guy, so I'm liking that.
So that'll be good. That'll be fun. I think it'll be us 3 and Bradley will make his way.
Okay.
So that'll be good. So we got a lot to do. Yeah, man, I'm excited. Then Buck, Sam Palazzo, food.
Sounds like a day.
We're supposed to get a Maryland draft legend for NFL draft legend, but he's not available this week, Kevin, but he'll be available next couple weeks.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Big shit Oregon. No, but it'd be fun. We got fun. And for anyone out there, whatever you want to see Kevin and Zach do, I think you guys should create a poll like we do for the fitness test, on a couple things you choose that if the Orioles continue to lose or win, that's what you got to continue to do. Maybe for every Orioles win, you guys have to do a little competition.
Well, we might have 5 more competitions this year before it's all said and done.
Oh, God.
Fine, 10. I'll be nice.
Hey, also, I was thinking about this. I don't even know what I've heard people use that phrase before at the end. I don't know what being called a Ryan's drunk dudes is like. What is that? Is that an offense? I guess.
Yes.
I'm gonna look up the definition. Also, Peyton, I don't care. The other part too, where you go through a lot of different things. I'm a swindler. An accomplice of a gambler or a swindler who acts as an enthusiastic customer to entice or encourage others.
You're an encouraging guy.
I'm an encouraging guy.
You like to encourage.
Maybe, yeah. I guess. Thank you.
Says TK. I need. Yeah. So the backstory behind the cartwheels too is look, I thought the form was pretty good. Everybody else did not think the form was pretty good. I think that I was the only one that thought the form was okay. And you know what? You can roll the tape. Definitely wasn't as good as I thought. So you know what? I'm gonna have to work on that. And maybe I do need a cartwheel trainer. I don't know. Maybe I need to put some reps in is what I have to do. Put some reps into the cartwheel department.
I can't wait to see you try to do like a bar. When I did bar today, Kevin, and where I just made me think about like different movements. There are some movements in there that could help with the cartwheel training.
Okay.
Also, your core might be on fire. We got to figure out a time. We're doing either a boot camp, Kevin, or it's going to be a spin class. I don't know how you'd be on a bike.
Hey, I used to ride a bike back in the day. I could maybe
back in the day.
Yeah, and then it was unauthorizedly sold by not me. My parents made a decision for me that I was not informed about. Now I no longer have a bike. So it was a tough day. It was a tough day that day.
I was feeling really good until whatever the hell that.
That's my job. That's my job here.
It's what you do. Great job at it.
Well, I'll leave on that so you guys can close out the show. And for everyone, I still see 161 of you guys on YouTube still locked in. Over 500 on X locked in. But guys, the big part here, Kevin and Zach are here for you guys constantly. And I know they say it, but for me watching this, give them all the love, man. They work hard for you guys. And believe me, it's not fun to come on here sometimes and talk about some things that aren't fun to talk about. So give them the love, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, be a member, call in like this. I know I'm not a member, but you know what? Deal with it.
Yeah, Ryan's a cheater, but it's okay.
Yeah.
We let him get away with it.
They're good. Hey, Rick, they are good kids. Support these good kids. I mean it. Like and subscribe. Simple click. It's all you need. For those ones that aren't already, just do it. And you keep growing the subscribers. You think Kevin's done some weird crap? Just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait.
So you start winning again. I need to get the vibes back to get the crazy stuff going.
Well, maybe you need to help those vibes beforehand.
Well, we did. I ate the spicy ramen and they won a game. So maybe I just have to eat.
Working our way up, Kevin.
Rest of the year.
Working your way up.
Yeah.
Hey, how about? Hold on for a second.
Are you becoming a member right now?
Might be.
How could I? I just knew it. All right. Well, we'll pull it up and we'll give you a nice little applause if that's what you do. Oh, look at that!
Oh, look at that!
Wow. Welcome to Ryan Ripken.
No more comments anymore.
Ryan, also we experimented for about 10 seconds with comments on stage.
Did you see you can do that now? You want to? All right, everybody has to behave for 30
Everyone
seconds.
behave in the comments.
Which means no one is going to behave.
So wait, what?
Look. So do you see that box? So
yeah.
When people comment.
It'll show people's comments on live stream.
How did you do? Like, wait, I'm confused.
It's a new thing
It's a new feature in the
StreamYard's doing.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
I saw it on our show today, and I was like, "What?" And so we tried it. So I told everyone we're going to do it every time the people are good in the chat and they behave. We'll add 20 seconds of screen time for them. The chat can get 20 seconds of time as people behave.
Good stuff, man. Hey, I like that. You're gonna have to show me that tomorrow. Stanley, where does one become a member? It should just be, if you're on your computer, there's a join button next to subscribe.
Yep.
Right. So I'm not losing my mind there.
Yeah.
Nope.
I can actually put the link.
You can put the link in too. Would be great.
Here's
And like I said, for all the guys that tune in, like this is all Kevin and Zach. Everything they're doing here, it's supporting these guys. It's a good group. There it is.
Member link right there if you want to become a member. We appreciate everybody, member or not. We appreciate everybody in this community. So
and you get pressured in, even though you helped get this off the ground for the guys. But Laura, but you know what? It's a good point. I'm glad. Honestly, the green popping up, like it feels good. I will say, it feels good. I'm like, hey,
you get that nice little what is it? Serotonin boost or whatever it is. Whenever that green pops up.
Yeah, it does. And it's helping you guys. And on the way out, Duran, I see you, man. Good seeing you last week.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm out of here. I think I did my job here. You guys be good. Oh, wait a minute.
On another. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
That's a hell of a deer stand.
Electric.
Yeah. See, like, and that's what it's about here. See, this is my job to come on here and be like, hey, you guys can come hop on here when they open it up for the group, hang out with the boys, hang out, get some. Well, this is not a tequila, it's a Waterloo.
Yeah.
Grab a Waterloo.
Waterloo, baby.
Hang out.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm done, guys. You can close it out. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk later on.
Awesome. Well, appreciate you, member Ryan Ripken. We will talk to you another time, maybe in like a year. We'll see you later.
Oh, he's a good kid. Good kid.
Awesome. Well, I think that's all we got. Orioles lose again.
Yeah.
I actually forgot they lost. This provided some therapy for me.
This was good. This was we were kind of back in our bag like we were at our peak last year.
Yeah, dude. Because the losses were a lot easier to kind of go with last year because there just weren't as many in such short order.
And we just kept on telling ourselves, we're like, just make the playoffs, hope shit happens. Like this year, we're just like, there ain't nothing happening. Like nothing.
Yeah. So crazy. All right. Well, that's all we got. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, hit the like and subscribe button. We're here for you after every Orioles win or loss, regardless. Happy vibes, angry vibes, frustrating vibes, electric vibes. We have all the vibes here on Kevin and Zach React because we go as the Orioles go. So, yeah, that'll do it. Anything else, Zach? You're good?
No, that'll do it. Henry Uridia.
Oh, Zach Lowther.
Oh, friend of the program.